Okay, so we've taken apart the back end there. Going to keep moving forward. The next thing I'm going to do is remove the exhaust. So to do that, make it easier, I'm going to take these wheels and tires off. I'm going to put it up on some jacks, get it up in the air. I'm going to take a reciprocating saw and cut the exhaust into pieces. Because it's all connected, I wouldn't be able to snake it out of there. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen these tires up before I lift it up, and then that way I know they won't just spin. All right, son, let's get those big jack stands over here. And then I'll go ahead and leave the jack under there, because why not? Thank you. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start to remove the exhaust system. And you can see here that the back of the exhaust actually has a hanger here, and it has one up here. And I'm going to keep both of those. I'm gonna still use those. So I'm going to try to take those apart here. I've sprayed them with lubricating oil. They look pretty good. They should come apart. These, however, the ones that hold the pipes together, they're pretty gnarly. Not going to reuse those. So basically what I'm going to try to do is get these clamps off to keep the hangers, and then I'm going to wind up cutting the exhaust, probably in several different places, with Sawzall, with a metal blade, and then I can just take these pieces out, and then I'll work my way up the car. Okay friends, so you can see here, first bolt I tried to loosen up on this clamp, wouldn't come loose, so I continued to apply pressure, and eventually it just broke right off. So, you know, not surprising, who knows how old it is. Not a problem, because I don't really care about this clamp. These are cheap. I'm just trying to save this hanger up here. So I'll continue to work to try to get the other one's pretty seized up too, so I'm just going to look to see if I can get a little bit of play here. Bend this enough. Then you can see how that exhaust has got a hole right there. I might have put it in it, but it's so thin. So there I go, I got the clamp off the hanger, which is good because the new one will wind up putting on there. This clamp, like I said, okay, that's fragged, but you know, they're only a couple bucks, so that's not a big deal. Main thing is I got that disconnected. So now I'm going to move to the hanger in the front and see if I have any success with loosening those nuts, or if they're going to break off, or now, if I was really concerned about saving this clamp, which I'm not, I could even heat that up. A lot of times I'll apply heat to nuts that are that are frozen, and that'll expand them and then they'll loosen up. But here I'm kind of like with the other side, I'm actually kind of hoping it just breaks off. And then I can do the same thing I did at the other side. Maybe SOL looks like it's actually turning, which means quite a bit of work. But either way, it's got to come off. Okay, friends, so got that first one kind of broke off on me, which is just fine. I'm gonna see what happens, see if I can get a little bit more room with this one or break it off. Now, when you're applying a lot of pressure with your wrenches, always anticipate what would happen if it did break. So in this case, like I'm not holding the wrench and pushing down, because if it breaks, then I'm going to smash my knuckles into something. So rather, I'm just pushing like this, and then that way if it breaks, you know, no big deal. I'm not going to smack my knuckles into something, if that makes sense. So I always anticipate when you're wrenching, you know, what's going to happen if it fails. So sometimes you just got to get right up on in there too. So sorry, you might not be able to see right now, but it's turning, and so I'm going to turn it. But sometimes it's actually just twisting. That sounds like it's actually coming off, so I just got to keep turning it if it is twisting. Actually come loose, so enough that I got the hanger off. So I'll let you back in there to see. Alex, if you want to show them. So this was mounted like that, and I got enough loose that it allowed this to slip out, and so there's my hanger. That's good, I'm good. So now I'm not even going to worry about this, because I'm probably going to cut this pipe now. See how it's just hanging? I don't know, and maybe I should have, in hindsight, cut this first. Maybe it wouldn't move around as much. So sometimes you figure things out in hindsight. But now that you've seen me do it, you know, I still think it's going to be fine. I'm going to go ahead and get the reciprocating saw now, and I'm going to put a cut on this. I think if I cut it here, I should be able to just take this whole back piece right out. My experience is you always got to just take it out a piece at a time, as much as you can each chunk, and then that allows you to move forward and take more pieces off. So I'm going to go ahead and get my reciprocating saw, make a cut here, and then I'll be able to take this tailpipe section right out. Boy, when she grabs, she grabs. This here new Chicago Electric 9 amper made short work of that sucker. Right tool for the right job. So now I can just lift this over here. And then this old clamp, boom, slides right off. And then I'll go up under a little farther, find another easy accessible point section, and cut that off. We'll show you that a little bit later. again, kind of working forward, deconstructing. And now you can see I've got a lot more access to this gas tank. Now I can see the hoses that got to be disconnected. You know, here and there. This line here. Yeah, so I'm going to clean up again. I don't like to work in a bunch of dirt, right? And then I'm going to start looking at taking that tank out. It's also a 1/2 inch, so I don't have 1/2 inch with me. And so I have to go get one. Or somebody's got to get one for me.